Okay, guys, we're gonna go flip all the way back to the beginning. Let's talk about our words for the week that we need to know. So, number 1, brown. Like some hyenas have brown fur. Number 2, own. Zebras know their own mother by her stripes. Number 3, very. The snake in that tree is very long. Number 4, off. The bird flew off the rock and into the air. Number 5 is never. Rhinos eat plants. They never eat meat. Number 6 is no. Leopards know how to climb trees. Number 7, out. I called out to Mom, look at that turtle. Number 8, been. The giraffes have been moving fast. So we're going to be talking about leopards, obviously, this week. If you will look in the science part of our lessons for the week, it talks all about animal habitats. Animal habitats are homes where animals live. Now, even though we're going to be talking about the leopard and the leopard living in the jungle, leopards actually don't only live in jungles. Leopards actually live in a lot of different homes or a lot of different habitats. Leopards are one of the cats that actually can live in the most different kinds of homes. Like they can live in the jungle, they can live on grasslands, they can just live on lots of different kinds of homes. And they're one of the only big cats who can live in so many different places. So that makes them pretty interesting. But this week we're going to be talking about them living in the jungle. So it says many animals live in the jungle. Monkeys swing on vines, frogs and snakes hide in the bushes, birds fly through the trees. Which jungle animal is your favorite? You will read about jungle animals and how leopard got his spots. So this story is what's called a folk tale. It's an old story that people have told for many years. They often tell it to explain how things are the way that they are. And if you look in them, a lot of times they have a lesson about how to live your life. So we're going to see if we can figure out how to live a good life by finding the lesson in this story. Our author and illustrator, Gerald McDermott, when he was 4, he started taking art lessons at a museum. Saturdays were spent at the museum drawing, painting, and looking at the artwork. Mr. McDermott's book, Arrow to the Sun, won the Caldecott Medal for Best Illustration. So he's a really awesome illustrator. Do you know how Leopard got his spots? Once upon a time, Fred Turtle was playing catch with Hal Hyena. Hal tricked Fred, then he ran away. Fred felt very sad. He called out for help. Help! I'm stuck in the plants, he yelled. Lynn Leopard ran to help. Look, Lynn doesn't have any spots yet. Chop, chop, chop. Lynn cut the plants off and let Fred out. Fred and Lynn danced in the sun. This is such fun, they said. I've never been this glad, said Fred. I like to paint if I am glad. Fred mixed paints from many flowers. Then he painted black stripes on Zell Zebra. Fred painted Jill Giraffe next. Look at me, said Jill. I have big brown spots now. I like spots very much. Can I have spots too? Asked Lynn. Fred got set to paint Lynn. Now Lynn had spots of his very own. Zell, Jill, and Lynn had such fun looking at their spots and stripes. Hal said, paint me too. But Fred had a trick for Hal. He splashed Hal with brown paint. Hal yelled and ran off. So, if you notice when you look at hyenas, their bodies and their spots aren't quite as pretty as like a zebra stripes or giraffe stripes or leopard spots. I mean, not giraffe stripes, giraffe spots, leopard spots. They look like they've been painted on. But hyena really does look like somebody just splashed some paint on him. So the people who made this story made it to try to explain why the animals looked the way they did. Now, is this a true story? No, it's a folktale. This is not really how zebras and giraffes and leopards and hyenas got their markings on their bodies. But it's a fun story that's been told for a really long time about why they look the way they do. In our area, we have storytellers who tell very similar stories. We have the Cherokee storytellers, and many, many times they will also tell stories about how certain animals look the way they do and why they look the way they do. So if you will go check out I'll have like a big Cherokee pot that's sitting in our main room. Go check it out, and I'm going to try to keep it updated by adding a new Cherokee story from this really great Cherokee storyteller I know of online. every day. And you can hear a real similar story about why things are the way they are where we live. And it's going to be told by a real Cherokee storyteller. And it's very similar to this kind of story. It is also a folk tale. Remember, a lot of times they also have lessons in them. So our lesson for this story was treat your friends nicely. So it says at the end, now Fred and Lynn are best friends. So don't ever be mean to somebody because you never know what might happen to you back. And you also should treat your friends nicely. So let's talk about the rainforest. This is an informational text. It tells you all kinds of fun facts. So let's listen. A rainforest is a very wet and warm place. Rainforests have layers. Each layer has its own animals that live in it. The canopy layer is the tops of the trees poking out above the forest that form this layer. The tree leaves and branches keep most sunlight off the layers below. Eagles, sloths, and monkeys live here. The understory layer. This layer is just above the ground. It is shady. Young trees and bushes grow here. Frogs, birds, and snakes live here. The forest floor. Not much sunlight reaches this layer. Tapirs, jaguars, and beetles live on the brown forest floor. Ants and giant anteaters also live there. Anteaters have been known to eat 30,000 insects in a single day. Oh my goodness, 30,000 insects. I think I would have a bellyache. Do you know where the world's rainforests are? This map will show you. So look, see all the green? That's the rainforest. So it's kind of a sad thing about the rainforest. The rainforests are so important for life on the earth. It helps keep everything running the way it needs to run. And the rainforests are actually being cut down to make room for more farm ground and to grow, let's see, what were they growing? Trying to remember now. It was some kind of tree that they get oil from. Let me think. Was it palm oil? I can't remember. But anyway, they're being cut down to grow these plantations full of trees for food and products for people. And so if you look that up, it's really a sad thing. So we should all be thinking about how we can help keep our earth clean to try to help offset some of that pollution that's coming from not having rainforests. So we just watched a documentary about that last week and it was pretty neat. But the rainforests are really important to all the life on Earth. And look, they're just here in South America and they're here in Africa and they're here all through the islands above Australia.